All of a sudden you unconsciously doing things that you don't even aware that's happening. That's what people who get drunk does. They won't go from being sober to all of a sudden unconsciously aware of what they're doing. And they wake up and wonder what happened. But Jesus gives us the understanding we got to think soberly. We got to keep our mind in a sound state, knowing who God is, so we can make sure we give him the glory. That he gave us that measure of faith to handle every trial and tribulation that we go through. And then when we fix our eyes on Jesus, who's the author and finisher of our faith, then we can do all things through Christ. It's that faith that's beginning to become compounded as you go through those different trials and tribulations. God want to show you more. He want to grow your faith. He want to expand your faith as long as you keep looking to him. So when something is fixed, that means it's locked down. That means you are in focus. That you're paying attention. That you are observing and narrowly looking very closely with intensity. If you don't fix your eyes on Jesus, there's so many distractions that's coming in your eyes. There's so many distractions that's trying to veer you away, take you away from our God. Because as you locked in on Jesus, he's expanding your knowledge. And he's keeping you in perfect peace. He's keeping you in an area to where you see him no matter what. See, Satan's job is to blind our eyes. To where now we got blur vision. Now we're confused. Is it God? Is the devil? Is it me? Who is it? But if I turn around and I reel it back in, and then I look back up and say, let me get back to Jesus. Let me look unto Jesus. What I love about it, he says, looking. If you're looking, that means you're continuously. It's not just I looked and I looked away. I looked for a moment and then I turned my head away. No, I'm looking. I can't afford to miss what Jesus is getting ready to do. I can't afford to miss where he's trying to take me. I can't afford to miss what truth he's trying to reveal to me. I can't afford to miss the faith that he's trying to instill in me. He's my author and he's my finisher. I got more faith to be obtained. And so therefore, I recognize it, and therefore I keep my eyes looking unto Jesus. And then I give God the glory. That's why, as he's doing this faith, that he says, you got to keep looking. Why? But I spoke it already, Luke 9:62. And Jesus said it to him, no man having his hand put to that plow. So if I'm on the plow and I'm pushing, trying to move it, as I'm moving, I got a direction that I'm trying to take it. But if I'm pushing that plow and then I take a moment to look and I'm looking back, that's changing my stance. That's changing my strength to where I can't focus on what's ahead, but now I'm distracted from what's behind. And so Jesus says, when you do those kind of things, then all of a sudden, now you can't even attain my kingdom. You can't get what I already have for you because why? You can't keep your eyes on Jesus. Did my son do enough for you that you want him more than anything else? Do you seek after my son? Do you watch my son? Do you ask my son for anything that you need? If you don't do it, then guess what? You're not going to be fit for the kingdom. Because it doesn't take much for Satan to come in. All you got to do is give him a small window of opportunity. And it's something about when you just turn that head. How many times have we been driving down the highway? And everything is going fine. And we understand what's happening on the highways. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, we turn our head. Try to look to the right or try to look to the left or even look up sometimes. or look to our phones sometime, and then all of a sudden, you look back up and get back focused again, and you realize, I'm about to crash. You almost hit the car ahead of you because why? You was consumed with something else. You lost your attention, and now you're in harm's way. And how many times that Jesus has been there, and you first had him in your vision, and you was right on point with Jesus. He was talking to you. You was talking to him. He was revealing himself to you. You was revealing yourself to him. And then all of a sudden, you took your eyes off of Jesus. And then Satan came in out of nowhere and started to mess you up. To take you away from our God, to take you away from what God already given you. As our sister pastor was saying, the blessing was already ordained. God already did it before the foundation of the earth. But it's up to us to keep our eyes fixed on Jesus. Then we can attain everything that he has. He got to complete the course. You can't go to school only for half a period of time and expect to get a good grade. You can't come one time a week, and you got 4 days out of the week to come. 5 days to go to school, and then expect to pass with flying colors. But every day, you got to come with an expectancy. Every day, you got to do the work. You got to watch that teacher as they teach you whatever subject that there is, and explain to you, give you a homework assignment and say, try this and see if you can get there. Try that and see if you can get there. And then when you put it all together, then at the end, now you're ready to take the big test. The test to say, I've passed with flying colors. I deserve my rewards. And so Jesus is telling you today, I want you to fix your eyes on me. And every day I want you to learn of me. I want you to come to me. Nobody else. Don't talk to nobody else, but come to me. Every day I got an assignment just for you. I got a situation that I need you to go through so I can teach you how to expand your faith. I can teach you how to be strong in the midst of a storm. I can teach you how to walk through every trial and tribulation that comes to your life. I can teach you how to walk in the midst of a storm, that you can have peace in the midst of a storm. Why? Because you kept your eyes on Jesus and you stayed the course. Every day you kept calling him on Jesus and he was there to answer your prayer. Every day you kept on talking to Jesus and he kept on talking to you. And then all of a sudden now, Satan came in so many different ways. But yet, it didn't take you out of course. It didn't take you off the path, but it kept you still straight in the narrow. Because straight is the way to lead it to the kingdom. But the broad ways that lead it to destruction. And if you're not fixing your eyes on Jesus, then guess what? You're going to get caught up in everything that the world is trying to offer. And destruction is coming upon you, and you don't realize it can hit you like a ton of bricks because why? You didn't fix your eyes on Jesus. Let's finish this up. The last thing we got to remember why God called us to go through this race is because the main reason he's trying to get this race to help us become his sons. He wants to go through an adoption. He wants to adopt you. He wants to adopt you. And anybody that will choose to serve him and walk through this race, you're getting ready to be adopted by God. Verse 5 says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, nor faint thou when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth it. He disciplined them. He scourged them. He whips them up into shape. Every son whom receiveth. If you fix your eyes to run the race and you receive the chastisement that comes with the race, the suffering that comes with the race, then guess what? God says, now you're my son. You're not no orphan that you can't come and get the inheritance that I have for you, but now you are my son. And the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I love you. Yes, Jesus loves you. Yes, it hurts sometimes what he's taking you through, but guess what? He really loves you. That's why he tells you in Romans 8:28 that all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. And so when he chases you and he said, no, son, get back in order. Get back up in the saddle and receive everything that I have for you. I'm getting you ready for the kingdom. I'm ready to adopt you. I want to bring you in permanently. Verse 7 says, if you endure chastening, meaning if you go through this chastening the right way, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? If you don't accept the discipline, you're not a son or a child of God. Because you can't get what he has for you if you don't go through what he has for you. I'm telling you from firsthand experience, just from my natural parents. When I got beat, the times that I got beat, when I got punished, the times that I got punished, it did not feel like my mother loved me. It did not feel like my daddy loved me. It felt like, as someone was saying, they abusing me. They're hurting me. I remember the times when I got spanked sometimes that they'll hit me up and I'm like, Daddy, that hurts. Daddy, please stop. No, son, get back here. Yes, sir. All right, but Daddy, no, son, get over here. Don't make me get out of this chair. If I get out of this chair, I'm going to get on you and I'm going to hold you down. I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no. And I get behind, he'd be sitting in the chair. I'm like, step back. And I'm anticipating the pain that's getting ready to happen. I see the belt getting ready to go back. And he goes back and he push. And I'm like, ow, Daddy. Daddy, how could you do this to me, Daddy? Daddy, this is not right. It's not fair. And no matter how hard I cried, and no matter how hard I asked him to give me sympathy, he's like, I got to do this, son. This is for your good. I'm teaching you something that you're going to need later on. You don't understand this right now. You can't comprehend it because you're a child, and that's what I'm here to help you grow up into a man. And so as I beat you, I'm beating you into becoming a man. And so I said that to say this: God has beaten us so we can become his children. So we can have wisdom, we can see the truth, that we can actually walk into the truth. We can walk into the newness of life that he's given us because we're fixing our eyes on Jesus. That we know that he's never doing anything to harm us, but he's doing everything to help us, to propel us, to teach us, to exhort us, to show us who he really is. And if we remember that he's my author and he's the finisher of my faith, then God, take me through. As my mother used to sing the song, dear Lord, please take me through. Whatever it is I must go through, I'm willing to go. Because God, you're my author and the finisher of my faith. Where you're taking me, God, my eyes are fixed. I'm locked in. My eyes are viewed upon you, God. What do you have in store for me today, God? What is it that I need to know that I didn't know yesterday? What is it that Satan is trying to get me out of you? And how can I stay the course and make sure I get all the way to the end, God? The only way I can obtain that is by continuously fixing my eyes on him. Everyone standing on your feet, fix your eyes on Jesus. Will you recognize who Jesus is and what he's here for?